This is the latest in a line of router sleds from ENJOYWOOD, but we need to have a look at the fundamental question. Is it any good? Can it be of any use in your workshop? And are Banggood really going to be pleased with the comments that I leave at the end? Let's have a look. As always, everything comes packaged as you would expect. Not great, but enough to get it from A to B safely. In the box, you get your base plate and all your side pieces, as well as some nuts and bolts that will come on to frustrate you later on. The setup's fairly simple. You've got a back plate, a front plate, and also two plates towards the back, which are going to be used for making a kind of auxiliary fence and having a depth stop. The bit that confused me was the two pieces of T-track that came with it, because for the life of me, I couldn't figure out where they were going to go. And this is where a set of instructions would have been quite handy, even though I don't like instructions. Job one is to get your board the right way up. There's no point having it upside down because you'll never get anything to fit. From here, it's a series of bolts that you need to line up and slide through the T-slot type openings. This should have been really easy, but this frustrated me like you won't believe. I've cut the vast majority of the footage out, but just getting these bolts lined up was an absolute nightmare. I tried everything, and what I thought should have been a 10-minute build on paper turned out to be 90 minutes of pure frustration. Not so bad, you'd think, if that was just one fence at the back, but you've got 4 of these to do. And look, this is the exact problem I've got. You cannot get these bolts to line up properly. And I tried everything. I tried using screwdrivers, Stanley knives to try lift them up and hold them in place. But unless you've got tiny fingers, you're going to really struggle with this. Now, this could have just been me. Maybe I have just got big fat sausage fingers. Always a possibility. But I get a feeling that this is going to hit 1 or 2 people more than me. Which leads us on to the question. I don't mind things taking a little bit of time to build and get right, if it's worth that investment. So is this sled really going to be worth a 90-minute time investment on top of the money that you've already paid for it? Let's have a look. So once I'd wrestled all 4 pieces into place, it was time to tighten them. And I did like this. Underneath the sled itself, everything is recessed. Nothing's going to catch. You get a really smooth surface. So a quick couple of turns with the Allen key which were provided, which I always think is a nice little touch. And this thing was pretty much ready to go, I thought. Welcome to problem number 2. After some head stretching, I realised that this T-track wasn't actually intended as T-track. You were to turn it upside down and use it as runners in the slots on your table saw. Not a bad idea, except I found out that it's probably 2 or 3 mil too skinny to go with my slots. I did get round this by adding a little bit of tape to beef it out, but it's not ideal. And like I said earlier, this is where some instructions would have really helped, because that would have saved me about 20 minutes of setting my brain on fire, trying to figure out how it was going to work on runners and what the T-slot was for. However, once I had worked that out, again, everything's recessed. This drops in really nicely. What I did like is that the T-track is tapped in through the holes, so everything screws into it. You're not faffing around with some more nuts or bolts, because I'll be honest, I'd lost my ability to line up any more nuts. So we'll move on now to start up problem number 3. And it wasn't until I took a step away that I realised the pre-configured way it had been set up didn't line up with my saw. Now, what I will say in the product's defence here is, when I've gone back and looked at the spec, this is more for a smaller job site saw. I've got more of a medium size saw. So that's not fully them, but it wasn't exactly clear in any of the literature. So after some deliberation of whether I was going to drill some extra holes to match up with the T-slot, or whether I was going to slide over the aluminium pieces, I decided that I would start sliding everything over. That was easy said than done. But after a short while, I managed to get there. But this set off my unofficial, undiagnosed OCD that the groove was no longer going to be in the middle and it's going to be offset slightly to the right. Doesn't affect how it works, but it affects how I think about things, which is always a problem when you've got limited capacity to think during a build. But moving on from my problems and my ways of thinking, once I'd got it all lined up, it did cut through rather nicely and everything was back on track the way it should be. I do like this little bit of plastic on the back. It makes sure that you can't put your fingers in the way. I'll be honest, I'd like something a little bit more robust, but we'll have to have a look at that in future. Setting up the fence were dead easy, and I was surprised at just how much this came out nearly bob on first time. A little bit of adjustment and I had it square. I was fearing that that was going to be one hell of a job to sort, but it wasn't. So on to the first cuts, and here's where I hit a little bit of a snag. And this again, this is a me snag, not a product snag, but I found that the T-track was just catching on my outfeed table. I'm going to have to make a couple of modifications there. But like I said, that's a me, not a them thing. But on a build where I'm already finding 2 or 3 problems, this was just something else I could do without. What I will say though is the cut was absolutely fine. No problems with that. It come out nice and square. Yes, there's a little bit of splintering, but that's because I need a better blade, not because of this product. I tried it again with some thicker stock, and same result. Once I'd lifted up the blade so it made sure it went through further enough, I was quite happy with the results that I got. Nice and steady cuts, and everything was held nice and secure. I thought that there might be a little bit of rattle or a bit of movement, but everything held tight just as you would hope it would. And again, everything passed the square test. Right, so I've give it a couple of weeks to calm down from when I initially built this, because what I want to provide is balance. And I'm not one of them people, even though this has been provided to me by ENJOYWOOD and Banggood, I don't just throw out positive reviews. I like to be down the line, balanced, and I hope that that opinion comes through. And that's maybe what people find some value in. So there's some good things that we need to talk about. There's some bad things. Let's start with the positives, because I think I've already gone through some negatives and some of my frustrations. Positives. I love the stop. That helps, especially for small parts. It's dead easy to remove as well. About the only thing that was easy to put on or take off, if I'm honest. And I really like that. And it works. Joking aside, it does. Once you stop faffing around with it, it does exactly what it's advertised that it's going to do. And I don't want to take away from that. This thing works. Let's be perfectly honest. This thing works. But, and here's my big but, what I'm going to say to you is, if you can work past all the faffing around, if you're happy with something that you've paid for not being centered like it should be, then get this. It's reasonably priced. It does a reasonably good job from the tests I did, and then I've gone on and built a project that'll be out in a couple of weeks using this, and it works. Can't take that away from it. But where I'd go with this is, I'm struggling, and the best way I can do that is tell a story that probably many of you can relate to. When I was a very young man, boy you might say, I found whiskey for the first time, and it went disastrously wrong. I still can't even sit next to somebody drinking whiskey, because that first experience was so horrific that it turns my stomach 25 years later. And that's where I'm at with this sled. It works. Just as whiskey, I'm sure, is a nice drink for most people. And it works doing what it needs to do. This sled works as it needs to do. But I can't shake off that initial part, that those bolts were 90 minutes to slide 4 pieces of metal onto some preset bolts. I could get it if I drilled them and I got the drill holes out of line. I could get that, but everything was just so snug, and those bolts just rotate. Every time you clipped it, they just rotated that little bit. And to get 4 things lined up with 2 hands with fat sausage fingers, it just wasn't happening. I don't want to make any aspersions about any of you guys, but I'm quite sure there's some of you who've got some big fat sausage fingers. You know, I've seen the way you type in the comments. There's misspellings and there's multiple letters in there. I know you've got sausage fingers, just like me. So you might find this a little bit tricky. And if you've got the mentality that can move past that, fantastic, great product, does exactly what it says on the tin. You Americans won't get the Ron Seal joke there, but never mind. This thing does what it needs to do. But that first taste, it's ruined it for me. It really has. I'm sure there'll be, from a company point of view, they'll say that's a me, not a them. Maybe that's the case. But I'm just an average guy trying to use average products and give you guys who are probably also just average guys not wanting to waste money an honest opinion. And it's really that first taste, it's done it for me. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it for 6 months, try to use it on a few builds, and I might come back and do an update. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll take everything back. If I'm not, I'll bin it. Like I say, yes, this is provided to me, but I'm always going to give you a nice, honest opinion. There are positives. There are some things that could be improved. The runners, certainly, it's just turned over T-track. The plastic on the back, yes, it does a job. Do I fancy the blade hitting that? No. I'm probably going to change it out for a block of wood, something that's going to be a little bit safer. So I don't like the thought of a table saw blade hitting plastic. It scares the life out of me. These looks are what they are, and flying plastic ain't going to improve that situation. So I really don't want that to become a reality. I'm like most people. I've got a mistake in me. Eventually I'm going to make one, and I don't want it to be a life-changing mistake. So that's going to come out for a piece of wood. And that's kind of where we are with this thing. I know I keep looking at it. I'm probably pulling faces. This for me would be like prototype Mark 1. What I'd like to see, like I've recently done a review on a taper jig, and that seems to be Mark 3, 4 or 5, and it works fantastic. This is like Mark 1. I'd love to see this in 12 or 18 months time when they've made a couple of changes. They've thought about how things attach. They've thought about that little bit of plastic at the back. They've thought about making it slightly wider so it lines up with multiple types of table saw. Those kind of questions and answers that I think you need before you go to market. This has come just a tad early.